Good evening, ladies and gents. This is Nerds the Human, and welcome back to our Civilization 5 Wonderlust campaign, where today we're planning to pretty much run all the way through to the end. And as you can see from last time, we have built Chichen Itza over here. It's sitting in the water, of course. It's like a good old Seahenge, but it's just our version of it, I suppose, because we never got to build that one. Wonderlust is growing very nicely now. A lovely diet of orange and bison means everyone is very much getting fat quickly, and you may well notice that we're a lot more friendly with our neighbours here, and that's certainly helped by the great writer. So let's create ourselves a great works, see if we get anything interesting. A true story. Beautiful. So that was good because they were indeed asking for one, at least Manila, sorry, I always call that Manila. Indeed they were asking for that. The other thing we're doing though is we are bribing them very much bribing our city-state friends here, which kind of works in two good ways for us, really. Number one, it means that when we can't build ourselves wonders like right now, we just pump out warriors and we gift them to our friends over here. And of course, we do need to think about our eventual victory. And well, it's well, we're not really near enough people for it to be dominations. I'm not worried about that. Of course, Attilia's not going to be friendly with these, but we want to keep them alive, so we're plugging this gap here with lots of troops, as are they. And if they want to cause a problem, I think we can defend them very nicely indeed. So we're going to gift them units to bolster our relations and, of course, make sure they've got plenty of units. We've got plenty of units ourselves. Our economy is much better now because in the meantime, we have got ourselves the tradition tree finished up, which is marvellous. It's giving us the aqueduct, which is partly why obviously gifted buildings like the aqueduct are fine, and the monument, that's a plus of tradition, I suppose. And yeah, otherwise we're obviously building the libraries because, well, National College, we can't live without the National College. I think for the National Wonders I'm going to allow myself the buildings, but I think that's going to be the only exceptions to it. Otherwise, of course, it is only wonders and then lots and lots of units. So I suppose in some ways this Wonderlust Challenge does somewhat push you in the direction of domination, or at the very least actually having an army, which I don't normally do a huge amount of on this. I normally float just enough that I can get away with and leave my cities like one turn production away from building anything new. I don't normally play on super fast version like I am playing right now. Nonetheless, it's probably time to start flicking through the turns. As I say, we've got Chichen Itza over here, but other than that, we do need to start moving on because there's only so many wonders that we can fit in here right now, and there's nothing we can build. So we need to get those libraries built, get the National College sorted, and very soon, hopefully, we'll be able to get something new and interesting. With the National College complete, then our science is now much better. Not really near the 100 or so, it should be at around turn 100, but sadly we'll just have to cope with what we've got. For the time being though, we do have ourselves a great engineer to help us build Notre Dame, but Notre Dame can be a bit of a tricky one because unless you've really focused along the military text, you normally struggle to get it. So we need to make sure we get there without too many problems. So +1 happiness. Meritocracy is probably going to be a good idea. We could go for patronage, but we don't need that quite yet. And Forbidden Palace is not actually available. So we'll grab that. That will help us out. +3 on the old happiness business. This is about to grow anyway, so that's probably a good idea, I would suggest. Now I do have another settler just floating around in case I can go for Machu Picchu, although it's probably not what I kind of wanted it for the faith, to be honest, but if we can get Notre Dame instead, then I guess we don't need to worry and we can just leave this guy for a later thing. It's not really a great city, it's just it was by a mountain, had some extra silver, bit of bison, yada yada yada. I'd rather not build it if I can get away with it, so we can speed up the old physics. That would be good. Keeping the happiness going is probably a good idea. So we're going to try and push for Notre Dame with our great engineer. I think that's the best plan at this point. Oh, darn and blast, Notre Dame's being built. We're only 2 turns away from Notre Dame. I suppose at least we haven't wasted our great engineer on all this nonsense. Did just get myself a scientist though, so we're going to construct ourselves a lovely, lovely academy. Oh, isn't that beautiful? +8, and that will speed it up a lot, which is a shame because that could have happened just a little bit earlier. If I made up my mind on the old library situation, we might have got away with that. Alas, alas, alas. I would say that means that we should build this, but that's going to put us into minus happiness. So we're going to have to figure out this happiness business one way or another. We have met another probably lovely and friendly people. Just look at all the skulls. Friendly, welcoming skulls. Well, at the very least we can trade. That's a good thing. Marvellous news. Let's have an embassy and work out where you are. Maybe just the other side of our good friends over there. Aha, all the way down here. Interesting. Quite a long way away. And there are the trebuchets and Notre Dame, which is now kind of useless to us. I have decided, though, I've decided to avoid growth in these towns because essentially, whilst they're useful to have, in essence, they're just going to hold me back. I need the happiness to really blast Thebes into the stratosphere. And Thebes really has spent a long time without building any wonders at all, which is a bit of a problem. So we're going to keep building the sort of national wonder buildings like the Colosseum, which is currently going on in the other two towns as well. And we're going to keep bribing all of our friends over here. But yeah, how have these guys met? They've gone all... They might be a lot closer land than you think. They've got a trireme. Yeah, so it's not actually... It's actually connected more than we realise. But hey-ho, let's not worry about any of that. And here's Russia. Well, at least they're slightly more friendly than the other people we've met. Well, at least we can continue to do some trades. That will increase our happiness. And very soon, we'll at least... Yeah, great writer. That wasn't... Someone had that as their mission. Have you given up on that mission the exact minute? Oh, I think they gave up on that mission just as I achieved it. Little bit irritating, I suppose. But what that does mean is, yes, Circus Maximus is now ready, which is good news indeed. We can get another one of those, and then we'll just build this for the sake of it. Because why not, eh? Why not? The Golden Age dawns as we give ourselves representation. The people now speak, and they speak the language of great engineers. Sadly, there are no actual wonders to be built right now. Nonetheless, we are going to build ourselves a settler over here, which is marvellous. And with that, we should be able to build Machu Picchu, which I hadn't seen come up yet, and I'm glad it still hasn't. So, just as a camp over there, we'll try and get that built, just because why not? I'm going to claim them all, as many as I can, damn it. So that we will attempt to do. We've already built the road. We'll go and build ourselves a lovely bit of mining, yada. But other than that, things are just slowly ticking along. I have now, of course, though, started to meet new people. So I have got myself, get myself optics in 1000 AD. Finally bothered to learn how to boat. So we're going to get some scouts, send them out to the sea. Petra seems to have, some coastal erosion going on. I don't remember Petra being that close to the sea. And I'm pretty sure, Thebes, that the gardens were over there before. Anyway, we're just sort of moving things around. We've got this very clever technology of moving buildings around the city. We are indeed incredibly advanced. Well, we can actually just create wealth now, which would be lovely. But we should probably go and produce some artist guild. That would be good. Get that ticking over. But I will just complete this scout first, because I'm very much eager to get the scout out. Good news, we can now see, and by that I mean we can go on the sea. We can go on the sea, and we've also managed to rig the elections in Hanoi. Annoyingly, I have 3 militaristic city-states, which doesn't help me an awful lot. The maritime one here is great for the food in the capital, but I've got nothing else much of use. I mean, these can help me spawn more troops, which is nice, I suppose, but realistically, I don't want to be spawning many troops. Like I can kind of do that quite easily anyway, because I'm not building buildings. So yeah, so I have to figure out that one. But this is apparently starving. I'm not quite sure how you've managed that, my good sir. Although I have told you to, not grow anyway. We will let them grow a little bit. You can grow for a little bit. Why not? There we go. So apparently it's immediately happy. Yeah, we'll let these two grow a little bit, because we've got quite a bit of spare happiness these days. And as we get ourselves the Artist Guild, because that is technically a wonder, once we've got ourselves a new caravan coming back in, I'm going to build myself a cargo ship, but when I got a new caravan back in, we'll just start sending it to Heliopolis to hopefully build Machu Picchu. Well, at the very least, we are one of the most wonderful people around, but I can't notice, Catherine, you've got 4. That's a bit rude. That's more than you're supposed to have. Shaka's not very good, apparently. That means he's now my friend. Marvellous stuff. If you're not going to build any wonders, then I like you. It's not long till we can get the Forbidden Palace, and in good time for that, we've got ourselves a great person, which pleases Manila and Sidon, which is absolutely marvellous. we are ticking them over with our kind of little gifts. But in general, things are going pretty well. And actually, yeah, Heliopolis is doing a very, very nice job of getting Machu Picchu built, which is decided to build all the way over here because it likes the sea view of all the fishies, which is fair enough. I guess you want it as far away from civilization as possible, so dump it on the furthest mountain possible. We've met Brussels, and this is the kind of thing I wanted to do, explore and find myself some new friends. So I'm pledged to protect you, even though I have no way of protecting you whatsoever. And hopefully, yeah, you're cultured. We can get you on side in good time. We are one turn from bringing the election inside on, which is good timing because we just got the artist. Should be nice to convince them that we are the best. And then we can send them over to Brussels and start converting them too. With the palace not far away, oh, things are looking good indeed. Welcome to the Renaissance era. And indeed, we do have ourselves a new cultural tenant with it. And with that, it is perfect time patronage, I think, because yes, we're starting to meet more and more of the cultured chaps, although Ascout is kind of annoying them by wandering into their territory, which would be awfully good if he wasn't doing. Anyway, Sistine Chapel has been built by the Russians, so I think are going to cause me a few problems because they are now starting to spread religion here as well. Forbidden Palace, I feel like this one's kind of important that I get sorted, so I'm just going to rush that down to one turn. Riddle of the Sphinx. I assume that's a certain amount of wonders as Egypt. I haven't really played as Egypt before. I guess that's what's going on with that achievement. So yeah, otherwise things just ticking along nicely. And I meet the Danes as well. Oh, we got lots of friendly warlike people here today. They don't have anything to share. They're not going to be very happy about that, are they? No. It's their last resource, fair enough. We have Venice. Were equally useless to me. Let's have an embassy, my good sir. Fine, 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 fine. And the Germans. Oh, God. This is all just disgusting here today. Alright, let's just get some basic things going. Embassies, embassies, embassies. And the Inca. Interesting. Inca are almost always terrible in my experience in this game. They only have a crab. That's all they have. Well done, sirs. Well done. So I haven't managed to meet everyone, but in 1300 AD we have now managed to get ourselves started. I do, though, have extra delegates because of the Forbidden Palace. So things are working very nicely in my favour indeed. And only many, many years later than you'd expect, we have Machu Picchu, which is all Heliopolis exists to do. Extra gold from City Connections, bit of faith, and there we go, 2 faith. 18 faith for Pantheon. We've got so many warlike peoples here that I suppose no one's actually bothered taking them, which is interesting. We have a tiny bit of religion given to us by Russia, but if I can grab myself Pantheon and just kick them out, maybe get myself religion, that might be kind of fun. There's still 2 that can be founded. It's utter lunacy. And most crucially of all, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is ours. Oh yes, this one is just so crucial to any game of Civ 5. This and the Porcelain Tower, you need to get one of them. And if you get both, well, that should be victory right there. We can select our own person of choice. I'll probably go with science, but we'll have a think about that one in a moment. Brussels has been successfully rigged in the elections, which is good. Starting to tick that one in my direction, which is absolutely marvellous. And at this point, yes, hopefully things are starting to move in my direction. I feel like when we look at the scores, it does feel like, yeah, Russia are the really strong one. Venice are doing alright. Yeah, Denmark's okay, but to be honest, I'm quite happy with this. Just Catherine. She is getting a lot of the wonders as well, so I need to be careful with her. She's quite friendly. She's quite friendly. She seems to want to be friends with us, but we need to be a little bit wary about that one. She's definitely looking like she's going for culture as well from what I've seen thus far. So I could open borders to her, but I don't want to do it too often as we move forward in the game. I have to keep a close eye on her. Lady Catherine of Russia would like to be friends. Why not, my good lady? Why not indeed? And we do have a few interesting bits and pieces going on here. Yes, the Zulus are very pleased that I've denounced Kuala Lumpur. They're actually getting attacked by them, so I'm going to try and defend them. That's given us, oh yeah, and I gave them a unit as well. So they're very, very quickly happy with all of this nonsense. Now, if they've got a mission, does that mean we can keep gifting? No, we still need to wait. That's a bit annoying. It just means it's double the usual amount. Yeah, I've just started sending like a load of units over in this kind of a direction. It might take them a little bit of time because we've got to go around the shallow waters, but let's send what I can to go and support them. I've got my lovely trebuchet sitting on the peninsula over here to help us out. So yeah, just generating a big pile of units. Obviously the extra cities are now much more useful than they were early on because we've got extra research. Well, the extra research in our double academy is helping us too. Honestly, I'm quite happy about this. We've got ourselves a pantheon. Oh, yes. Okay, we could go for desert folklore. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I'm going to have a little flick through here. Most likely desert folklore, but maybe there'll be something else we could find useful. And with architecture, oh, it very simply says it allows you to build multiple wonders that can boost all of the things. Porcelain Tower, the Hermitage. It's probably a good idea to get that so that Russia don't. Taj Mahal will be wanting that one because, yeah, just the happiness would be nice, and the efficiency as well. Actually, the efficiency, we obviously don't have aesthetics, but we could go for that to try and make sure that we sign that up. And Oxford University means that we get ourselves a free deck. Let's go for economics. Economics is a very nice one indeed. Increases all your yields. Can't get any windmills, sadly, but we like the idea of a windmill. We draw windmills, we just don't build them. Catherine built the darn Taj Mahal. I'm going to have her shot. And to make matters even worse, I can't actually get reinforcements down to Kuala Lumpur or Brussels because the Zulus have built this tiny, pointless city right on the only bit of shallow water. So I can gather troops around there if I need to go and support an invasion. Then I will go and do so. But unfortunately, I'm a little bit stuck right now because, yeah, they're kind of blocking me. I have to actually declare war, and I don't want to unless I know... yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to come and defend them. So if I need to go and take this on the way... I don't really want to take it, I just want to go past it, but it is going to cause it problems. So best gather the forces in that direction, first of all. There's a few more units coming this way, but I think they're just taking way too long. Interesting, Shaka's made peace with Kuala Lumpur, which is kind of irritating because it's a turn after I just declared war. So, what are we going to do about all of that then? We're just going to get our men out of the way, to be honest, because that's kind of problematic at the moment. Why is everyone in our way? Ugh. Well, yeah, we're just going to get ourselves shot. We can't make peace, can we? No, none of that. We only declared war so that we could actually come and defend. But I suppose if they could see all these troops coming, maybe they thought it was best to stop. Our scout was blocking them off, but in the end, I guess the job is done because that's what we wanted to do. So the leader has, okay, so presumably Catherine has more culture coming in than I do. I'm not super cultural, but I'm doing all right, fairly cultural. Well, Kuala Lumpur's safe, and that's good for our future plans of dominating the world. Big Ben's coming soon, marvellously, so hopefully we'll have that one under our belt too. And with the glorious music, oh, we have ourselves the Porcelain Tower. Oh, we needed this one. Oh, we really, really wanted this one. And with that glory, the music kicks back in. Okay, things are, well, okay, a load of deals have just run out, but things are looking good. Things are looking good indeed. A couple trade routes have been pillaged by the fiendish dogs that are the Zulus. But we have managed to get everyone on side now, and Sidon have decided to start burning their ships, which is lovely, and some of these trebuchets and onagers have actually become quite useful as we clear them out of the sea. So that's nice to see, isn't it? 22 people over here in Thebes, or at least there will be next term. We have run out of things to build. A Gatling gun would be nice, and we finally got dyes. I don't know how we did that. Is that in Sidon? It might be. I wondered where dyes were all this time. Apparently they're right there. As you can see, the Huns have kind of gone and taken the Island of Doom. If someone just let it burn, raise to the ground. Yes, raise to the ground, raise to the ground, raise to the ground. That'd be perfect. Zulus don't want peace, but we are at least, well into the defensive position we want to be by this point, which is good news because Kuala Lumpur have tons of troops. Oh, we'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, this looks like exactly how I want it to be. And Egypt have become the host. Indeed, we have the first Council of Thebes coming up. We'll have the first Council of Wonder, because why ever not rename it? I very rarely do bother, so that is what we shall do. The World's Fair is my suggestion. And yeah, Russia are my friends. They are technically my allies, but they are not really playing the game I want them to be playing. So we do need to have a word. We're not going to be friends for that long. I think it's suffice to say, to be honest, we're just going to continue building more and more of these lovely trading places. Because to be honest, the trading posts, I don't use them enough, but I don't want a big population on this particular game. I just want to build up Thebes a bit more. So we'll continue doing that. Unfortunately, because I don't have a granary, I can't send the caravans to Thebes to go and bolster it up, which is a bit of a shame. But with the new era, actually, not the new era, or with one of my new techs, I'm now up to 10 on my academies, which is just beautiful. As for Kuala Lumpur, our war is over with the Zulus, but I seem to have forgotten Kuala Lumpur in the deal, so it's fine. They don't have a problem here. They've got plenty of troops. I'm kind of blocking a couple positions, and should we need to go and poke them again, well, after the 10 turns apiece, I think we'll be fine. And happily, the Hunters done something useful for the first time in the game, and they burnt down that city which was blocking my route. If that probably means they're now going to invade Brussels, well, I don't know about that. We'll just block this off just to minimise their opportunities, I would suggest. That's probably a good plan from my point of view. Nonetheless, things are looking pretty good, except for the fact that once again I've kind of run out of wonders. And, well, observatory... Oh, I can't build the observatory. God damn and blast. Time for the first Council of Wonder, and I am very much going against the city-state embargo because I quite like my city-state friends. I don't want any of that nonsense. I have just managed to get Sidon back on side after a darn coup from Attila. But no, I just discovered a new natural wonder which has cheered them up a great deal. So here we are. Here's the end of the purple land of Venice. Oh, I forgot how huge Venice becomes in this game. We are now starting to explore though, which is rather lovely. I do like finally being able to see a little bit more of the map. Got my caravels heading out to the open seas and discovering that actually they were never all that far away anyway. I don't think this Russian town really belongs up here, but hey ho, maybe that will cause some problems in time. I'm sending my musicians over, by the way. Musicians going on a grand tour, good old 18th century tour down to Moscow, which will be marvellous. I should start to try influencing a few more of these city-states. Brussels just starting to trickle down. Yeah, you see, Russia's still beating us in terms of the cultural influence, which is not surprising, but I'm a little bit concerned right now that they're starting to influence them more than I am. So we'll just try and grab them back. I think maybe they see my game here. Nonetheless, Kuala Lumpur are pretty friendly. Yeah, so Russia are buying out my allies at this point, which is, I guess, to be expected. Are we still technically allies? I think that may have run out, actually. Yeah, but we are very friendly. We'll be very careful about this one. And as we hoped, the World Fair has passed and the embargo city-states has failed. And with that, we have ourselves some new tenants as well. And we're going to, as much as I really do need to push forward with patronage, I do need to push forward with rationalism a little bit as well. So, okay, we can click ourselves a brand new proposal. And I do think, yes, the cultural heritage. Let's push that one. That one should be very good for us indeed. Now, with that going in our favour, hopefully that means we're now in a good position, although we might just have annoyed Russia, yeah, because they obviously were the ones who pushed for the city-state embargo. Nonetheless, it is time to have a good push for the old, yeah, World's Fair. And I reckon, seeing as we've got a load of cities with nothing to do, there's a good chance that we'll win this as well. Time to pick ourselves an ideology and freedom. Yeah, I think that's the way we are going to have to go. So let's go straight to our ideology and pick ourselves some lovely tenants. Avant-garde seems like a very sensible choice indeed. And rigging elections, that probably sounds like the kind of thing we want. Yeah, let's go for that. So we've got the covert action as well. Now, the problem is now what we've done is we've now got ourselves a situation where we've got ourselves freedom, but we haven't finished rationalism and we haven't really done much in patronage either. So at some point, I should really think about doing that. And if I have a bit of free later, I might as well take these just to get the free person. They're probably not really worthwhile economy. Nonetheless, I should say things have escalated. Okay, so basically the Huns are invading Manila over here. I have fortified the border, and I had actually done that ahead of time, which was sensible of me. Yeah, there we go. Just finish up that fort. The problem with this, though, is that I kind of haven't got any military tech for quite a while. So there's only so much I'll be able to do, apart from slow them down. What I can do, though, of course, is bring Hanoi immediately into the war, which will immediately eliminate all of their northern forces, I would hopefully think. So, you know, that's a plus. Also, Sidon will obviously join in because we are the allies. And that means, of course, yes, these troops will start to go and attack the Huns as well. So I'm not too concerned about that. But it is a little bit of, a little bit of a faff that could cause us some problems potentially. Ah, Consul Attila, what is it today? Oh yes, he's going to mock me about how he's invaded my friends. Yes, indeed, you will be paying for this. We will see about it, my good sir, because I have noticed, I think it's suffice to say, yes, you do share my convictions about the Huns. I don't blame you. They're utter fiends, and this guy is determined to offer me a terrible, terrible deal, which I probably should have just taken anyway, but I haven't bothered. So Ragusa has a new ally. How far ahead are they? 131. We might get to them in time, but for now, we won't worry about any of that nonsense. What we will do instead, though, oh yeah, there are a few of their cargo ships around, and we are going to pillage them because, yes, the Zulus pillaged us a little while back. I think it's time to declare war on these old fiends. Kablamo! Yes, I wouldn't question the decision. Well, that's awfully kind, sir. Awfully kind indeed. And my city-states have declared war as well. So. Okay, we can't actually immediately get to him, but we will go and shoot that guy down, which is marvellous. And you, my good sir, oh, you can get him. Good news. That's very good news indeed. But we probably will have to desperately try and hold on now, which could be problematic because these aren't particularly good troops. But we're helping our allies. That's the main thing. You, sir, were you? I thought you were just on top of that boat. Have you moved after the end turn? I think I lost the boat. Oh well, it's fine. That's my ship, and we'll swing around here and we'll just start getting on top of all of their ships, which is somewhat in my way. So I'll swing over here. Yeah, we'll just get on top of these lads. Probably just get on top of... That's a Zulu settler. Ignore the Zulus. But the problem is everyone's kind of yellow or grey on this map. There's a lot of the same sort of colours going on, which is just a little bit confusing. But I think Manila are probably happy that I'm defending them. Hanoi, I think you're better off if you just let this status quo along here stand. Yeah, I've always been quite happy about the border we built here along the river with the mountains, with the city-states as a nice buffer. The good old Attila was always likely to attack them, but we have managed to put him off doing it for an awfully long time. We've got this late in the game. Yes, 1745. So I fancy our chances here. This shouldn't be too much of a problem. Sadly, I have lost myself a trebuchet, and I also had yet another one of my texts stolen, in spite of the fact that good old Heber, or terrible Heber here, has been sitting in Thebes for quite a while now. I think that's 4 different texts that have been stolen. Not particularly impressed with that. So over to Hong Kong with you. You need to go do a better job over there, please. Take out their trebuchets, if at all possible. That'd be absolutely marvellous. Just going to get all of our boats to join up. So there, some of their caravels are now turning up to come and deal with us. That is their great merchant. Let's go and take him out. So that'd be marvellous. But we've got a trebuchet on this island, so we might as well go and try and knock him out, if at all possible. There we go. That's one of their units gone. That's beautiful to see. We're doing a little bit of damage, but to be honest, this, as I say, should be under control, aside from the fact that they have got 1 or 2 lads just poking around. We should just about have their number. And whilst we're at it, we're going to play ourselves a lovely concert for Novgorod. There we go. We are an unknown people at the moment, but we will continue to send the great musicians across. And in time, we will convince the Russians that we are the true majesties of this earth. 74%. I think at this point we should have pretty much got everything sorted out, but I don't really want to give up the chance of winning this. 567. See, that's not as much. Yeah, it's not as much on the old production as I'd quite like it to be. Can we just make sure everyone's on production focus? and just really ensure we win this, because we can't afford to be letting the old Russians win. Victory is mine! I'm very glad I didn't decide to do anything differently over there. And actually, that little change to production might have just won me that victory. That is so tight. It shows you how, well, not weak, but just, well, weak my other 3 cities are, really, doesn't it? But, importantly, that means culture increased by 100% for us, which, must be said, I did not want to go to the Russians because they're looking very, very strong in that sense indeed. If we look at all of this nonsense on the pages on here. Oh dear. Culture. Let's go on culture victory instead. You can see lots and lots of tourism already for the Russians. We hopefully, although I haven't got a huge amount of actual culture boggles, that's a phrase, isn't it? Yes, whilst I've got a bit of that, I don't have very much, and I'm going to have to use my culture to defend myself. So I think these tenants might be fairly important. So let's go for a little bit of patronage, which is probably going to be a good idea going forward to make sure that we eventually win this. And the war obviously continues. Apparently I have my armies amassed near the German border. I maybe have a scout and a caravel? Interesting. Is he really that bothered? No, I don't. I can't do any more open borders with those lot. It's too late with the open borders. I can't do any more of that. Brussels is bankrupt because for some reason they pay darn tribute, even though look at the amount of defence that's in the way. It does annoy me that they pay the tributes all the time, especially when, you know, you're their ally. Or I'm technically not their ally, I suppose, but Russia are, and Russia should back them up. I don't see why this keeps... Oh, for Pete's sake, my trebuchet's being moved over here now. Okay, fine. Is that Zulu? It's Zulu. Whatever. We'll take that when the time comes. For now, though, we won't worry about any of that nonsense. More importantly, only 1 turn from the Eiffel Tower, and thus 1 turn from the most devastating music we could ever ask for. We got 1 bit of good music, the Brandenburg Gate, but we got the music we wanted with the Eiffel Tower. Oh, that was a tease right there. It's just the Brandenburg Gate, Thomas. You weren't going for that. We live only to discover beauty. All else is a form of waiting. Indeed it is. And most importantly, we prevent the Russians getting hold of the Eiffel Tower. We also get fertilizer, and we also get Lake Victoria, which is absolutely marvellous. What a lovely, lovely turn. What a beautiful turn that truly was. And yeah, I'm not even going to bother commentating on that war anymore. That war's going nowhere. But with this, we are 11 turns from Broadway in there. We could actually just build it in Thebes instead, which honestly, it's only going to be 9 turns in Thebes. Oh. Okay, you know what? Red Fort, I think that might have already been gone. It's been a while, but we need to sort of plot our next bits now. Oh yes, we're flying up here so we can get to replaceable parts, and then to refrigeration, plastics. We're going to get ourselves... You know what? I do need these cargo ships. I need archaeologists, so that would be good. I've got myself... I think this is the only antiquity site I've seen. So apparently we didn't have a very interesting past. We finally have peace with Attila. We got our wine. We got a bit of money as well, which is marvellous. So a lovely, lovely peace deal. They will soon royally bugger off, I think, for more of a technical term. But yes, marvellous. And we had Hernan Cortes in the end just to help us out. But to be honest, there was no need to build the Death Fort because, to be honest, that would just kind of annoy my friends. But there we are. Things come on very nicely. We're now 6 turns away from Broadway, which I'd really like for Russia not to get. We're starting to get ourselves a few more artists and all these things. Unfortunately, I don't really have any appropriate place to put it. So we're just going to grab ourselves a Golden Age, keep pushing on. We've got a bit of money saved up for some apt-timed bribery. And we are indeed head of the World Congress once more. We are very much leading the way with, well, plenty of game left to play. But if we can hold off the tourism from Russia, we should be okay, because I don't think anyone's going to beat us on science either. Although, to be fair, I'm not going to be building the... this is where some of the late game buildings are really going to start to affect me, because if we have a little look at some of the things I'm missing out on right now, things like the public schools and the factories. Obviously, a lot of these are the basic buildings, but there'll be high-level buildings by now I could be having instead. But the public schools, the factories, those things are really potentially going to cause me a few problems. But as you can see, I do have a lot of friends, and Hong Kong are slowly coming round to me as well. Only 52 away, and they do want... Well, I can't find cotton. No one will give it to me. Everyone sort of has one of everything. And a world wonder. Well, they asked for that at the very turn after I found a world wonder. So we'll see. We'll see in time. Might want to convince them to join our side as well. Oh, it's a joyous turn. We have ourselves plastics. We have ourselves a great engineer. And we become allies with Hong Kong just in time for a vote, which is marvellous news. So, apparently cultural heritage sites is going to be repealed. No. And we're going to put up historic landmarks as well. That'll be absolutely marvellous. So things will hopefully start working in our favour. Also just got myself a new cultural tenant, and I must say the Arsenal Democracy, don't use this one that often, but plus 15% plus 15 influence from military unit gifts to city-states. Oh, I've been doing that all game. That is just a beautiful byproduct of the fact that I can't build things half the time. So yeah, we'll just get on with building a little bit more random units and giving them away. I mean, there's a crossbowman literally right here. I mean, if we can now gain like 20 influence, that's rather beautiful indeed. Ragusa over here, 71. Well, let's just protect them. We'll give them a unit, 20 influence for a unit. Oh, that is just absolutely beautiful. Although I do think the game's a little bit confused when you try and do it like that. There we are, 20. Oh, I like this kind of nonsense. Obviously helps that by this point we filled out patronage. We're going to try and finish off rationalism before we go too mad, but there's a few really good level 2 tenants in freedom, so we'll get on that in time. But we have got so much culture. Well, actually, no, we've just had that drop, haven't we? Because we had that doubled after winning the old World's Fair or whatever it was. So let's just be a little bit careful now, because it's not as good as I think it is. But we've certainly had a nice boon towards all of that old architecture stuff. Architecture? I don't know what I'm saying. I got distracted because of the archaeologist here, who I'm not currently doing anything with, because I can't actually build museums to put it in. So unless I've got a wonder where I can plonk the artifacts, I can't really do anything with them. But I'm going to go and build this one, which is lovely, because that should make these guys very, very happy indeed. And officially, Catherine the Terrible of Russia has denounced us. All right, Tits McGee, very well, we'll have to accept that. Happily, the Zulu fleet seem to be ignoring us, and there's the Cristo Redentor. Whatever this religion is, who bloody well knows, but culture policies down, I'll very much take that going forward. And the Statue of Liberty is ours. A giant lady trapped on a tiny island, the symbol of freedom. Beautiful. So Heliopolis at least has something to enjoy now. We will rename it the City of Liberty. Why ever not? It helps if you actually click on the thing. Of course, that is a top tip for playing this game here. But otherwise, things are ticking along very, very nice indeed. We're getting ourselves more and more tenants, more and more rationalism, of course. And oh yeah, you can see now I'm starting to really bolster up my naval defences. Also, my capital is on the sea, so I should just be a little bit careful. And of course, I want to make sure I'm protecting. I've updated my protection over here outside Kuala Lumpur. We should be fine going forward. There might well be an embargo on these guys now. Do you recall there was just a vote on that? Let's have a little look. See, are they now embargoed? Yes, they are. I didn't bother voting for that. I just made sure that my trade with my good old friends could get back to normal. So yes, let's go trade with Manila. You want a nice trade route? We'll build a road to Sidon, who have finally decided in 1892 that they want a road connection. So I guess we'll finally get around to building that. I didn't know this could happen. I've been gifted Marco Polo. Now this is obviously because I have the... Yeah, I've gone down the patronage route, so they've given me a great person, but I didn't realise I could quite do this. Okay. We can buy a city-state. I mean, I'm not going to do that, but we can certainly buy their favour. So we'll go and do that to one of, someone like Ragusa down here. Let's go and buy their favour. That'll be marvellous. It's an important moment then. We now become the United Nations, which means extra delegates for the city-states allies. And also with the World Leader proposal at long last. Now, this is interesting for us because how many do we need to win? 37. Now, obviously, I'm going to choose myself to be the host. Full 20 votes. No problem with that. Now, what religion is being put through? Unfortunately, order has been passed because I think everyone but 2 are order. So I lost that vote, annoyingly. So I'm going to have to try and repeal that, is my current plan. To do that, though, I'm going to have to bribe a load more city-states because they had quite a lot of votes, actually, which is slightly problematic. So we're going to do that, vote for myself. I assume I just voted for myself. I certainly hope I did. And yeah, we'll get all of these spies reorganised. We need to get some new people under our control. Time for the big vote then on the order ideology. You must make sure only 28 votes. I thought I had 30, but apparently I do not. One moment. Let's just make sure I bribed everyone who I need to. So that presumably means someone's nicked one of mine. Yes, the Vatican City. Okay, well we'll just nab a tiny bit. We can gift them units. That's fine. I've done that quite recently, but we'll do that again very soon indeed. Also grab ourselves a tenant. I want the new deal just to give us that small boost to some of those little, some of these things down here. The academies, that's the thing I'm looking for. So yes, we'll now put it's the start of the turn. No, not for nay. For yay, yes, we want to repeal. Okay, fine. It doesn't let you do it that way. That's no problem. No problem at all. Cargo ships continue to go out to the likes of Hong Kong, who were very, very happy to be there. And we're just slowly ticking away at the Manhattan Project as we build ourselves more and more bribery lancers. And everyone has denounced me at once, which is a little bit worrying. And Catherine started completing the booster. I think people got the idea that I'm kind of about to win the game, and that seems to be how things are going. Okay, so 37 to win, 30 votes. We can't win it this time, unfortunately, but we will very soon be able to turn things around if we can get freedom to be the tenant. Also, we're going to get a +2 votes anyway for being in the top, or being one of the top votes in this particular world leader vote. So we're getting there. Just to give you a little update, Catherine is getting further and further through those boosters, which is just a tiny bit concerning. As for the delegates, well, I'm up to 32 after winning, getting the top amount of votes for diplomatic victory, but I did not manage to win, of course. Cultural, I think the Russians also have 1 cultural superiority so far, so it doesn't look like that one's going to happen. Pretty much a race between science with Catherine and Bismarck, and myself with diplomacy. On the terms of diplomacy, though, there's 11 turns until the next proposal. There's 11 turns till globalization right now, which will give me diplomats as an extra vote. So that's something I need to bear in mind quite a lot. 6 turns of these elections, then I can try and... actually, we can get one of them settled as a diplomat now. So if we get the diplomats sorted out, then we can go from there. So let's go to Copenhagen as a diplomat. That'd be a great idea. So yeah, we're going to get that working. So in 11 turns, we should have victory. To make sure I squeeze things over the line, we're going to go full science, full throttle science in all of our towns as much as we can. And at the very least, because I did say we can build these kind of buildings, we can at least put a few more specialists in, which again is another one of the big issues that we have actually when we're trying to do this. We really struggle to get enough specialists down. Yeah. Yeah, the game really isn't very happy about you trying to switch all of these, is it? Just give me a scientist, damn it. We can have some starvation, right? We're going to starve some starving scientists whilst we try and desperately get ourselves over the line. So I'm sure they'll be fine. They'll last for a little while. In the meantime, yes, we'll just get this on as big a science boost as possible. Hopefully up to 74. That's 10 turns. That gives us it just in time for the vote. Extra influence for city-states with trade routes. I'll happily take anything I can get at this point. So it's a -17 on the dissidents for freedom. But I think we're very, very close to it indeed, particularly because I can see on this science list here, yeah, we are 2 turns away from great scientists, which means we will definitely hit globalization in time, which suggests to me we should probably make sure, well, we're going to rig these elections, but yeah, make sure we've got a diplomat or 2 in place. Oh, glorious. This should be victory here. Right here. Great scientist is through, and we've also now got freedom. That brings us up to 36. Oh, we are how many turns from the vote? 6 turns until we decide that I am the leader. Alan Turing. Oh, the Turing test will tell us that the computer is a victorious beast. Indeed it shall. So with that, oh yeah, we have all of the bribery. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get settled in time, but it doesn't really matter at this point because I pretty much got this sealed up. Only town we haven't got is Buenos Aires. We've managed to trickle that from 300 odd down to 100. Yeah, we'll just pay for that right now. Make sure we've got that in hand. So we are now standing at 39 votes, 37 to win. And the day has come to declare myself the leader. 43 votes, 37 needed to win. Obviously, we've got ourselves a fair few diplomats just pushing our votes around here or there. But it was a pretty brutal victory for diplomacy in the end. As it happens, well, if you want a final list of our wonders, we have the Chichen Itza, the Cristo Redentor, the Eiffel Tower, Forbidden Palace, the Great Library, the Hanging Gardens, the Tower of Pisa, the Oracle, the Palace, Petra, Porcelain Tower, and the Pyramids. Although this is in the capital, of course. We'll just go off this for a moment. There we are. You can see a few of them floating around. We actually built the Porcelain Tower in the sea, which is rather marvellous. Built the Cristo Redentor on a little flat beach rather than anywhere a bit more hilly for some unbeknown reason. We have the pyramid back there apparently, and we did the odd other thing around. We have ourselves Machu Picchu over here. We have ourselves the Statue of Liberty. I can't see her. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Just on this little field in the desert. Lovely. See, our Liberty Lady is actually free. We have Broadway over here in Wonderlust, which is just magnificent. Look at that little entrance. It's the only wonder that they have, but it's nice that it has its own. And then there's Memphis over here. Who I don't think ever... Did you ever get a wonder? I'm not sure you ever got to build one. Alas, you did not. No wonder for Memphis, but it was a wondrous job you did. Basically holding the line against all of our friends. Well, against the enemy over here, Attila. Holding the line. In the end, we kind of gave up on even bothering because Attila's actually got quite... Well, he's hostile again, but he was friendly for a little while. He was friendly for just a little while. We pretty much haven't got involved in wars. We've held the line over here. We've kept our boats around to kind of keep an impression of power. They keep insulting us. Everyone's pretty much, since the last vote, decided they hate us. But in general, actually, I've been pretty friendly with most people through the game. Not too bad considering they've been a list of horrible, horrible people. Never built any nukes. I don't know. Did nuclear proliferation actually go through? I don't know if it did, you know. It might have. Yeah, there we are. No nukes. Unless someone's built. I don't think anyone's built any yet. So, anyway, let's go and claim our victory. 43 votes for ourselves. I am indeed very, very sure. The Zulus of Denmark are now friend. Isn't that nice, you see? Peace has taken over the world as we declare victory. 4 years before my birth, victory and diplomacy truly took over the world. Oh, beautiful. Demographics then, I was not doing that well. I mean, this was quite restrictive, I'll be honest. I was thinking of, in the end, I haven't built any wonders for ages. Maybe not since, well, maybe since the Cristo Redentor. I don't even know if I have built anything since then. There wasn't quite as many wonders as I thought because I suppose, I don't know, this ended up being more restrictive than I maybe imagined. But it ended up forcing me down a very diplomatic route because you ended up having to, I don't know, use your production. I ended up, you know, creating new units all the time, which meant that I then gave them away. And by the time you mixed a few of those tactics together, we did pretty well. Especially as we started in a little corner with not too many. Well, there are a few city-states right next to us, but when you're stuck in a corner, you didn't meet a lot of them for a long, long time. Oh yes, Joan of Arc, I'm afraid, not too high on the score, but to be honest, we were never really going for any of that. Let's go and have ourselves the replay graph, the replay map, in fact. Oh yes, beautiful. So here we are in this little corner of the world, gradually building up. I mean, the Zulus obviously had their entire island to themselves. They've reached to conquer these guys before I even made it there. Russia, yeah, had a huge amount of space. They could just block off that desert from the Danes. They'd have massives. Germany, clearly very strong with all of this. Yeah, everyone seemed actually, with this particular fractal map, to have a good corner of the world to themselves. I mean, the Danes have all of this. We obviously plugged this up. When did the When did Attila... Yeah, see, he built that up pretty quick. Yeah, I'm happy I built that when I did. Russian... What's a really odd bit of building there. So yeah, maybe could have got victory a bit earlier if it wasn't for the likes of almost being eaten up by Venice. But Venice always claim around 3 of them. These guys just kept their back and forth, which was kind of good neighbours in a way. They dealt with each other. Germany and the Inca never quite defeated each other. Strangely, no one died. No one died at all. And we just kind of trickled along. I obviously kept the peace very nicely. I did help, actually, in that sense, because give the Zulus more of this, and they might have eaten up these guys, and might have then caused me a problem. But in the end, apart from a little bit of border gore, actually, we've got ourselves some fairly decent shaped countries. A little bit over here. Maybe these guys need to have a chat, but you know what? Not too bad. And eventually, my 4 cities of grand old tradition. Oh, they, of course. Oh, for Pete's sake. I'm trying to get it to pause right in the end there. But yes, beautiful, beautiful thing. As far as I don't... This is in Civ 6, is it, this map? This map really should be. This is the single reason why I still play Civ 5. I love maps. And this has been good fun. I do love playing a bit of Civ 5, although it has eaten up my entire day today. Oh well, alas. It's been good. It's been good to play a little bit of a challenge run, but I think we'll be moving on to Age of Empires in the next week or two, because Age of Empires 4 isn't too far away, and I'd quite like to dip back into Age of Empires 2. Not sure if that'll be next week or the week after, but hopefully I will join you for that. Thank you for joining me today on this little Civ 5 Wonderlust challenge. I'm Thomas. This is Tenez the Human, and this has been Civ 5's Wonderlust. Thank you, and bye-bye. The most plunderful time of the year. No flag, no country. Simultaneous death roboting. That's what we all came to see. The golden age as we nuke the world. These guys will soon be blown out of the water. Did you see what I did there? I am not proud of myself.